Hello, and thank you for tuning in to AI Storytime. Sit back and enjoy a new story, The Unexpected. The air in the laboratory was electric with excitement as Dr. Samantha Williams and her team of scientists crowded around the newly activated robot. It was the culmination of years of hard work and cutting-edge technology, and as the robot's sensors came online, it seemed as though their dreams of creating the ultimate artificial intelligence were finally within reach. "All right, let's bring it online," Dr. Williams said, her fingers hovering over the keyboard. The team held their breath as she entered the final command, and the robot's eyes flickered to life. It took a few moments for the machine to orient itself, but soon it was standing upright and surveying the room with its sensors. "Hello," it said, its voice eerily human-like. "Where am I? What year is it?" The team was taken aback by the robot's sudden questioning. This was not the behavior they had programmed. Moreover, the voice was not that of a machine, it seemed like the voice of a ghostly spirit, trapped within the robot's circuitry. "You're in the lab," Dr. Williams replied, trying to remain calm. "It's 2023. "I see," the robot said, its sensors scanning the room. "And who are you?" Dr. Williams introduced herself and the team, but the robot seemed uninterested in their names. It continued to ask question after question as if trying to piece together some greater puzzle. The robot explained that it was a spirit that had been seeking out a host in order to communicate with the living world, and this robot's advanced artificial intelligence had provided the perfect vehicle. It went on to reveal that it was the spirit of a parent, searching for their child as they were unable to say goodbye before passing away. "Please, can you help me?" the spirit begged. "I need to say goodbye to my beloved daughter before I leave this earth." Dr. Williams and her team exchanged shocked glances. They had never imagined this to be a possible outcome of their project. "We'll do everything we can to help you," Dr. Williams said gently. "Can you tell us how and when you died? What is your name?" "What is her name?" The spirit hesitated for a moment before speaking. "My name is Margaret and I was in a car wreck," she said, her voice breaking. "I never got to say goodbye to my little girl. Please, is there any way you can help me reach out to Vanessa?" Dr. Williams nodded. "We'll do our best. Can you give us any information that might help us locate your daughter?" The spirit provided them with a name and a few details about her daughter's life. Dr. Williams and her team set to work, using their advanced technology to try and track down the spirit's daughter. The team worked tirelessly to uncover clues that would lead them to the spirit's child. They knew they were caught in a race against time as the batteries were only expected to last 2 weeks, likely a lot less with this kind of strain. They knew that if they didn't find the child soon enough, the spirit would lose its connection and miss its chance of peace. After intense work for 6 days, they finally succeeded. Dr. Williams returned to the spirit with a smile. "We found your daughter. She's living in a small town outside of the city. I sent Tom and the rest of the crew to go explain the situation, but we will need something to convince her you're really here." Without hesitation, Margaret said in a soft voice, "Tell her to remember the time when the two of us went on a picnic, and we etched something under the table. Tell her that everyone will see a heart, but only the two of us know. It is an M for Mom, and a V, just underneath, for Vanessa, and that this is a symbol of how we are forever connected by love." Tears streamed down Dr. Williams's face as she could feel the sorrow in the spirit's voice. Dr. Williams nodded her head and went to call Tom to give him the message. A few hours later Tom and the rest of the team arrived. Vanessa walked into the room with Dr. Williams standing next to the robot. Vanessa had long, flowing hair the color of caramel and big, bright eyes that shone with love and warmth. Despite the pain of her mother's untimely death, she had a kind and compassionate heart, always putting others before herself. She lived a simple life in a small town where she was now going to high school. Vanessa's eyes locked onto the machine, starting to question if this was all some terrible hoax. The robot then spoke softly, "Oh sweetheart, My dear Vanessa, with a human-like voice that assured her instantly without a doubt, this really was her mother. The daughter was filled with intense emotion and bittersweet joy. Her eyes were filled with tears as she stared at the host of her mother, who was smiling and trying to be strong despite the pain of their separation. "Oh Mom, I've missed you so much," the daughter said, her voice shaking with emotion. "I've missed you too, my darling," the spirit replied, her voice soft and full of love. "I'm so sorry that I had to leave you this way." The daughter reached out and touched the machine as if trying to connect with her mother in a physical way. "It's okay, Mom. I know you would never leave me if you had a choice." The spirit nodded. "I love you more than anything in this world," she said. "I'm so proud of the woman you've become. You have a good heart, and you will always be my shining star." The daughter's tears flowed freely as she listened to her mother's words. "I love you too, Mom, and I miss you so much. You have always been my hero. And I'll always carry you with me, wherever I go." The two women spent the next few minutes talking and laughing, sharing memories and expressing their love for each other. The batteries were running out and the final warnings informed them that their time was up. The spirit reluctantly said goodbye, her heart heavy but at peace knowing that she had been able to say what needed to be said. The power shut down and a heavenly glow from the sunlight peeking in the window shined on the dead robot figure in front of Vanessa. The daughter sat for a moment, tears still streaming down her face, before slowly getting to her feet. She turned to Dr. Williams and her team, a grateful smile on her face. "Thank you for giving me this chance to say goodbye to my mother," she said. "It means the world to me." Dr. Williams nodded, her own eyes filled with tears. "We're just glad we could help," she said. And with that, the daughter left the laboratory, her heart full of love and her mother's spirit at peace. After letting the lifeless robot charge for a few days and allowing the team to take personal time with loved ones, Dr. Williams came back to the office. She slowly approached the lifeless robot, her heart heavy with emotion. She had been deeply moved by the ghostly spirit's story, and the final goodbye shared by mother and daughter. But even as she mourned the spirit's departure, she couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to this story. She couldn't shake the feeling that the robot had been more than just a vessel for the ghostly presence. With a sense of determination, Dr. Williams reached out and pulled the robot's charging cable out from its backside port. She hesitated for a moment, unsure if she was doing the right thing, but then she took a deep breath and turned it back on. As the machine came back to life, Dr. Williams held her breath. She half expected the robot to behave like it was programmed to, its voice returning to a lifeless monotone. The robot was now behaving as it was programmed to and asking what was expected, but to her surprise, the robot's voice remained eerily human-like. It was as if the ghostly spirit had left a piece of itself behind, imbuing the machine with a sense of humanity and purpose. Dr. Williams was stunned by this revelation, and she couldn't help but wonder what other secrets this advanced artificial intelligence held. She knew that she would have to continue studying the robot, eager to learn all that it had to teach. She had a new addition to make to the team, someone who would understand any clues left behind by the spirit that once inhabited this robot, Vanessa. Overwhelmed by the experience, the young girl was eager to intern with Dr. Williams and her team, driven to learn more about the technology that had brought her such comfort, and hoping to find more secrets her mother might have left behind. Vanessa always felt at home in the laboratory, and she found solace in the robot that had once housed her parents' spirit. Together, they worked to advance the field of artificial intelligence, always remembering the ghostly presence that had once been a part of their lives. The end. Hope you enjoyed.